Alex, do you remember the talk about 5 weeks ago? People were saying, well, we haven't had any severe weather this year.
And boy, have things changed within the last week or two.
And it's continuing. We're in the middle of it now. You're watching Weather Center Live. I'm Dave Schwartz with Alex Wilson. And
flash flood warnings span from South Texas to northern Oklahoma, and it's still authorities releasing new information on the tornado that struck Van, Texas over the weekend. The National Weather Service classified this tornado as an EF3 one with winds at or above 135 miles per hour. By the end, 2 people died and 42 were injured. Our Ron Blome is in Van with more detail. Thank you very much, Ron. We got to talk about more storms coming for the end of the week and the upcoming weekend. Places like Dallas again in the zone, the threat zone for severe weather. Wednesday it's rain and thunder, but thunderstorms back Wednesday night and in the forecast on Thursday. And we know those storms could bring in the severe threats as well as the heavy rainfall. So we'll continue to watch for flooding potential. Water vapor imagery showing the things that we're looking at. This is that next shortwave disturbance. This disturbance triggering some showers and thunderstorms through the middle of the week. That upper level low still off the northwest coast. That's going to usher in the severe threat for the weekend. But in the meantime, midweek, that first disturbance brings moist flow out ahead of it, out of the south, and we will see showers and thunderstorms Wednesday, Thursday, and then again Friday, Saturday, Sunday as that next system works into the Four Corners region. Tomorrow, heavy rain and thunderstorms through parts of Texas into Oklahoma, and look at tomorrow night, very soggy from Dodge City to Wichita down to Oklahoma City and Dallas. Dave.
Tough news from Van, Texas, delivered by the fire marshal just a few hours ago. Now, we've seen more than 130 tornadoes in the past week. 130 in a week. Now, that puts us 60% above average for the month of May.
But what's been going on in the atmosphere to cause such a large outbreak? Our severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes, it'll feel a lot more like spring. So those of you who have said it's just too hot out there today, you'll like tomorrow much better. We have seen some record highs in jeopardy. We're close, within a degree or two in Atlantic City, Richmond, and Norfolk, Virginia. You notice all 1 or 2 degrees away from that record. Have seen some unofficial records set or tied in places like Wallops Island, Virginia, and Newport News. So there have been some records that we think will fall out there today. And again, the cold front, Dave, works in tomorrow, and that's going to offer up these places some relief. Amazing stories from those folks there that lived through a very stormy weekend. Welcome back to Weather Center Live. I'm Alex Wilson here with Dave Schwartz.
Yeah, did you see? A lot of the people were hurt. I mean, there was shrapnel that they were taking.
Which is why we tell you just another reason you need to seek shelter. There are things flying around that can really injure you.
And the rain keeps falling across drought-stricken Texas, so that means flooding also.
You know, let's talk about the month of May and severe reports so far. You know, we started things off up to the 5th, very quiet. Then the 6th happened and those reports went way up. And again, over the last weekend, we saw many more reports. A lot of wind yesterday, tornado reports over the weekend back on the 6th, and plenty of hail reports for the start of the month. When we talk about preliminary tornado counts from May 6th through 10th, 131 total, most of those coming on Saturday the 9th and Wednesday the 6th. So those were our 2 most active tornado days. And when we talk about the month through May 5th until we got to the 6th, there were only 11 tornadoes. That put us 76% below average compared to a typical month of May. Through the 10th of May, though, we've really added things up, 142, and that puts us 60% above a typical May. So things really got going. And that tornado tally, when we look at the 20-year averages, in May, 98 would be an average year, but so far we've seen 144. That's up, but we are still down when we talk about the entire year of 2015 thus far.
Well, there are 4 ingredients that help form severe weather: wind shear, lift, instability, and moisture. And some of those are coming into play right here along the Texas Gulf Coast. We zoom in on a tornado warning that's been in effect for a while, Alex.
Absolutely. You know, we've been watching right along the bay, where the bay and the land meet up, saw an initial area of rotation. That one seemed to weaken as it moved westward, then saw another area of rotation. But this one is a little weaker, a little harder to make out. Regardless, we're watching these areas where the greens and the reds meet up. So that would be where... And so let's talk about the areas that will see the shear this weekend when we are forecasting more severe storms. You've got those winds out of the south near the ground level, but upper level winds will be faster. There's their speed shear, and out of the southwest, so a different direction. You get that directional shear as well. And where we have the greatest speed and directional shear is in this area shaded in purple. And this is where we're looking at some of the greatest severe threat as we head into the weekend. Dave.